Captain Duhan Park stood at the window of the Earth ship Hope, looking at the massive Galactic Council station. The space station was huge, like a silver ring in space, with thousands of lights twinkling across its surface. Ships of all shapes and sizes moved around it like busy bees around a hive. "Captain, we're ready to dock," said Lieutenant Hae-Nul Kim from his station. His fingers moved quickly across the control panel, guiding their small ship toward the designated landing area. Duhan took a deep breath. This was humanity's big moment, their first official meeting with the Galactic Council. After years of watching alien ships visit Earth, humans were finally going to join the galactic community. But something didn't feel right. The way the alien ships had been watching Earth lately made Duhan worried. The landing went smoothly. Duhan led his team of 5 through the brightly lit corridors of the station. Aliens of all kinds walked past them, some tall and thin, others short and wide, some with multiple arms, others floating in the air. The humans tried not to stare, but it was hard not to. They reached the council chamber, a huge round room, with seats rising up like in a theater. Hundreds of alien representatives sat in these seats, all looking down at the human team. The main council leader, a tall blue-skinned alien, stood up. "Welcome, humans," the alien said in perfect English. "We are pleased to have you here." But the way he said it made it clear he wasn't really pleased at all. Duhan stepped forward. "Thank you for having us. Earth is ready to join the Galactic Council as a full member." Quiet laughs spread through the chamber. The blue alien smiled, but not in a friendly way. "Join as full members? That's amusing. Your species has barely mastered space travel. You still use primitive rocket fuel." Hae-Nul Kim watched the aliens carefully. He noticed how they looked at the humans' simple uniforms and basic weapons. Some aliens were whispering and pointing at the pistols on the humans' belts, clearly thinking they were toys compared to their energy weapons. "We offer Earth protective status," the blue alien continued. "We will watch over your planet until you are more advanced." Duhan kept his face calm, but inside he was angry. "Earth is an independent world. We don't need protection." More laughs filled the chamber. A red-skinned alien stood up. "Your weapons are based on gunpowder. You fight with metal bullets. How can you protect yourselves?" Duhan looked at his team. They all understood what was happening. The aliens thought humans were weak and primitive. They didn't know about Earth's long history of warfare. They hadn't seen how quick humans were to adapt and improve their weapons. They didn't know that what looked simple could be deadly. "We thank the Council for their offer," Duhan said politely. "But Earth will remain independent." The blue alien waved his hand. "You will change your mind soon. For now, you may observe our council meetings. Perhaps you will learn something." As they left the chamber, Hae-Nul moved close to Duhan. "They think we're stupid," he whispered. Duhan nodded. "Let them think that. They don't know what humans can do when we're challenged." Back on their ship, Duhan sent a message to Earth Command. "Council is hostile. They see us as primitives. Recommend immediate military preparation." He looked out at the massive station again. The aliens thought humans were weak because they didn't understand Earth weapons. Soon, they would learn a hard lesson about underestimating humans. Hae-Nul watched alien soldiers walking past their ship, carrying their fancy energy rifles. The aliens were laughing and pointing at the human ship. "They mock what they don't understand," he said quietly. "Yes," Duhan replied. "And that will be their biggest mistake." Major Ju-Won Lee stood in the demonstration area of the Galactic Military Complex, surrounded by alien officers. The room was large and white, with high ceilings and viewing screens on all walls. She had brought Earth's best weapons to show the Galactic Military Command, but the aliens hadn't stopped smirking since she arrived. Commander Thex, a tall alien with metallic skin, stepped forward. "Show us these weapons you use to defend your world." His voice carried a tone that made it clear he thought this was a waste of time. Jaiwon opened the first case. She pulled out a standard-issue rifle, well-maintained and gleaming under the bright lights. "This is our basic infantry weapon. It fires metal projectiles at high speed using a controlled explosive charge." The alien officers burst into laughter. One of them, a green-skinned creature, actually fell over from laughing so hard. "Explosions, metal bullets. Are you still living in ancient times?" He wheezed between laughs. Jai-1 stayed calm. She had expected this reaction. "Would you like to see it in action?" she asked. Commander Thex waved his hand. "Yes, yes. Show us your primitive toy." They moved to the firing range. G1 set up the targets, standard metal plates similar to what the aliens used for their weapons testing. She loaded the rifle and took aim. The rifle cracked 3 times. The sound echoed in the room, making several alien officers jump. When the targets moved forward, there were 3 perfect holes through the center of each plate. "Impossible," shouted a purple-skinned officer. He ran to the targets, touching the holes with his fingers. "These plates are designed to stop energy weapons." Jai-1 nodded. "Yes, but they weren't designed to stop physical projectiles moving at high speed." Commander Thex frowned. "A lucky shot. Show us your other weapons." One by one, Jai-1 demonstrated Earth's arsenal. Sniper rifles that could hit targets 2 kilometers away. Shotguns that could clear rooms in seconds. Even simple pistols that never jammed or ran out of power like energy weapons did. With each demonstration, the alien officers became less amused and more concerned. Their shields and armor were designed to stop energy weapons, not solid bullets. Their tactics were built around energy weapon fights, not the quick, deadly efficiency of Earth's weapons. "But what about vehicle combat?" Commander Thex demanded. "Surely your primitive weapons can't harm our tanks." Jai-1 pulled out a rocket launcher. "This is what we use against vehicles," she said simply. She aimed at an old alien tank they had provided for the demonstration. The rocket streaked across the range. When it hit the tank, the explosion was small but focused. A perfect hole appeared in the tank's armor, and smoke poured out from inside. "The rocket is designed to pierce armor," Jai-1 explained. "Once inside, it does the real damage." The alien officers were no longer laughing. They huddled together, whispering and pointing at the weapons. Commander Thex looked worried for the first time. "These weapons," he said slowly, "they're so simple, but effective." "Yes," Jai-1 agreed. "We've had thousands of years to perfect them." Back in her quarters that night, J1 sent a message to Captain Doohan. "Demonstration complete. They're scared now. They finally understand that simple doesn't mean weak." She looked at the rifle on her desk. The aliens thought Earth was primitive because humans didn't use energy weapons or plasma guns. But they had missed something important. Humans had been fighting and killing each other for thousands of years. They knew what worked. "They think technology makes them superior," she muttered to herself. "But they've never fought a real war. They've never had to survive like humans have." She knew what would happen next. The Galactic Council would try to take control of Earth's military. They would try to replace Earth's weapons with their superior technology. And when they did, they would learn why humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Private Sun Wukong was cleaning the floors of the Galactic Council's military base when he heard the alien soldiers talking. They didn't notice him. To them, he was just another simple human doing simple work. But Sun Wu understood their language perfectly. "These humans need to be taught their place," said a tall, silver-skinned soldier. "They refuse our protection. They keep their primitive weapons. They act like they're equal to us." "Commander Thex wants to take action soon," another alien replied. "The Council is tired of human stubbornness." Sun Wu kept mopping, moving closer to hear more. His mop hit the wall with a small thud, and the aliens turned to look at him. He quickly bowed his head and moved away, acting scared. The aliens laughed. "Look how they cower," one said. "Hard to believe they think they can fight us." As soon as his shift ended, Sun Wu reported everything to Sergeant Do Hyun Song. The The surgeon's office was small but neat, with maps of the station on the walls. Dahyun listened carefully, taking notes. "Good work," she told Sunwoo. "They still think we're stupid. That's good for us." Dahyun went straight to General Min-ho Choi's office. The general was talking to Earth Command through a secure line when she arrived. "The aliens are planning something," Dahyun reported. "They're getting bolder, more aggressive. Their soldiers keep talking about teaching humans a lesson." General Min-ho nodded. He looked tired but alert. "It's happening all over the station. Their peacekeepers follow our people everywhere. They search our ships without permission. Yesterday, they tried to enter our weapons storage." "What are our orders, sir?" Dahyun asked. "Keep watching. Keep pretending to be weak. But be ready." The general pointed to a screen showing Earth's defense plans. "We've been preparing since that first meeting with the Council." Throughout the station, tension grew stronger each day. Alien peacekeepers stopped humans in the corridors, checking their IDs over and over. They followed human ships in space, getting closer each time. Some alien soldiers even pointed their weapons at humans, as a joke. One day, Dahyun was walking to her post when 3 alien soldiers blocked her path. They were big, with scales and sharp teeth. "Hey human," one called out. "Where are you going with that primitive weapon?" He pointed at her pistol. "Just to my post," she said quietly, looking down like she was scared. "Maybe we should check your weapon," another alien said. "Make sure it's safe. Wouldn't want you hurting yourself with that ancient thing." Dahyun noticed more alien soldiers gathering around. She also noticed Sunwoo watching from nearby, ready to help if needed. But she just nodded and stepped around them. "That's right. Run away." They called after her. "Hide behind your weak weapons." Later that day, General Min-ho called an emergency meeting. All human officers gathered in a secure room. "The Council has made new demands," he announced. "They want to replace all our weapons with their energy weapons. They say it's for our own safety." The room was quiet. Everyone knew what this meant. "They're getting ready to take control," Dahyun said. The general nodded. "Yes, but we're ready too. Every insult, every joke about our weapons, every time they called us primitive, we use that time to prepare." "Should we tell them we know their language?" Sunwoo asked. "Show them we're not stupid." "No," the general smiled. "Let them think we're simple and weak. When the time comes, they'll learn the truth about humans, and they won't be laughing anymore." As the meeting ended, Dahyun looked out a window at the alien ships circling the station. They looked powerful and advanced, but she knew something they didn't. Humans were ready for a fight. They had always been ready. Colonel Yoon-suk-baek stood in the council chamber, his face calm as he read the document in his hands. Around him, alien representatives watched with smug expressions. The document was simple and clear. Earth had 24 hours to surrender all its military forces to Galactic Council control. "This is not a request," the blue-skinned council leader said. "This is an order. Your primitive weapons are a danger to galactic peace." Yoon-suk looked up from the paper. "And if we refuse?" The council leader smiled coldly. "Then we will be forced to take control for the safety of all species. Your Stone Age weapons cannot stop us." The chamber was quiet. Alien guards stood at every door, holding their energy rifles. They thought they were being threatening, but Yoon-suk noticed how poorly they handled their weapons. They had never fought in a real battle. "Earth will need time to discuss this," Yoon-suk said calmly. "You have 24 hours, the council leader repeated. "Not 1 minute more." Back in the secure human command center, Yoon-suk met with Earth's leaders through a video call. The room was filled with screens showing military bases on Earth, the Moon, and Mars. Every human commander was waiting for orders. "They want our weapons," Yoon-suk reported. "All of them. They say they'll take them by force if we refuse." General Min-ho Choi's face appeared on the main screen. "Are all our people in position?" "Yes, sir," Yoon-suk replied. "We've been moving them quietly for weeks. The aliens think we're just running around scared." On another screen, Captain Doohan Park spoke up. "What about the civilian evacuation?" "Complete," said Sergeant Do-hyun Song from her station. "All human civilians are safely away from alien-controlled areas. The aliens think they're just hiding in fear." Yoon-suk looked at the countdown clock on the wall. 20 hours left until the deadline. "They're so sure of their technology that they've given us time to prepare. They think we're too primitive to act quickly." "Let them think that," General Minho said. "Are the special weapons in place?" "Yes, sir. Hidden exactly where they told us not to go. They never thought we'd disobey their orders." The next few hours were busy but quiet. Human soldiers moved through the station, looking scared and confused. Alien soldiers laughed at them, not noticing how the humans were actually moving into strategic positions. With 1 hour left, Yoon-suk returned to the council chamber. The alien leaders looked bored, expecting Earth to surrender. "Have you come to accept our generous offer?" the council leader asked. Yoon-suk stood straight and tall. "I bring Earth's answer. No." The chamber erupted in angry shouts. The council leader's face turned dark blue with rage. "You dare to refuse? You backwards, primitive species. You leave us no choice but to take control by force." "You could try," Yoon-suk said quietly. "But I should warn you. Humans have been practicing war since we could pick up sticks. Your species thinks war is about technology. We know it's about survival." "Enough," the council leader shouted. "Guards, arrest this human. Begin the takeover of Earth's forces." But when the guards stepped forward, Yoon-suk smiled. Throughout the station, hidden human soldiers were ready. On Earth, the Moon, and Mars, military forces were in position. The aliens thought humans were primitive and slow. They were about to learn how wrong they were. "You should have studied Earth's history," Yoon-suk said as he pressed a hidden button on his uniform. "You would have learned something important about humans." "And what's that?" the council leader sneered. "We're really good at war. And we never start a fight we haven't already prepared to win." Captain Jae-yun Hong watched from the control room of Lunar Station Alpha as 5 alien warships approached. The ships were huge, covered in glowing weapons. They were trying to look scary. Jae-yun smiled. They were doing exactly what she expected. "This is your last warning," the alien commander's voice boomed through the radio. "Surrender the lunar base, or we will take it by force. Your primitive defenses cannot stop our advanced ships." Jae-yun pressed the radio button. "We hear you," she said, making her voice shake a little. "Please don't shoot. We're just a simple mining base." The alien ships moved closer. Through the base's cameras, Jae-yun could see alien soldiers getting ready to board their station. They weren't being careful. Why should they be? They thought humans were weak. "All units ready?" Jae-yun asked quietly into her secure radio. "Ready," came the whispered replies from around the base. Every human soldier was in position, waiting. The first alien ship docked with the station. Alien soldiers in fancy armor marched out, holding their energy rifles. They didn't even check for traps. Their shields glowed as they walked, protected against energy weapons, but not against simple bullets. "Now," Jae-yun said softly. The first shots were silent, thanks to human-made suppressors. Alien soldiers fell before they knew what was happening. Their shields flickered uselessly against the metal bullets. Their armor, designed to stop energy blasts, offered no protection. "What's happening?" the alien commander demanded over the radio. "Report." No one answered. The aliens in the station were already down. The other ships started to move, charging their weapons. But they were too late. Hidden doors opened on the moon's surface. Simple rail guns, just metal tubes that used magnets to fire metal slugs, shot into space. The alien ship shields were useless against these basic weapons. Impossible. The alien commander shouted as his ship's hull broke apart. "Your weapons are primitive." "Yes," Jaiyun replied calmly. "Simple, basic, and very, very effective." In 10 minutes, it was over. 5 advanced alien warships destroyed by primitive human weapons. Hundreds of alien soldiers defeated because they thought their technology made them invincible. Jaiyun walked through the station, checking on her soldiers. They were already cleaning up, taking alien weapons and equipment for study. The aliens had such advanced technology, but they didn't know how to use it in a real fight. Message from Earth Command. Her radio crackled. Similar attacks happening at all human bases. Aliens didn't expect us to fight back. They're running. Of course they're running, Jaiyun said to herself. They've never fought someone who knows real war. She stopped by a window and looked at the broken alien ships floating in space. Their fancy technology was dark and dead, defeated by simple human weapons. A young soldier named Minki ran up to her. "Captain, we found their battle plans. They were going to use this base to attack Earth." Jaiyun nodded. "But they made 3 big mistakes. First, they thought technology alone wins wars. Second, they told us exactly when they were coming. And third, what's the third mistake, Captain? They thought humans would be easy to defeat." She looked at the alien bodies being carried away. They didn't understand that humans have been fighting wars since before their species learned to make fire. We look simple to them, but that's what makes us dangerous. We know what works. We don't need fancy weapons. Her radio buzzed again. Earth Command wanted a full report. Jaiyun smiled as she began speaking. Lunar Station Alpha secure. Enemy forces eliminated. Human casualties 0. Time elapsed from first shot to last. 8 minutes, 12 seconds. She looked at the Earth hanging in space, beautiful and blue. The aliens had tried to scare humans with their advanced weapons. Instead, they had learned a hard lesson. Never underestimate a species that had spent its entire history learning how to fight and survive. Lieutenant Ta-Hyun Park walked through the captured alien command center, watching as alien officers stared at screens showing their defeats. The aliens looked shocked, their faces pale and scared. On every screen, human forces were winning battles across the solar system. "How?" a captured alien commander asked. "How are you beating our best ships with such simple weapons?" Ta-Hyun picked up an alien energy rifle from a nearby table. It was beautiful, glowing with power. He turned it over in his hands, then set it down next to his own rifle. "Your weapon is amazing," he said. "It can shoot energy beams that melt metal. It has a computer to help you aim. It never runs out of bullets because it doesn't use bullets." He picked up his own rifle. "But my weapon is simple. Pull trigger, bullet flies, target falls. It never fails." The alien commander watched as human soldiers worked around them. The humans moved like they had done this many times before. They checked corners, watched each other's backs, and kept their weapons ready. "Your soldiers," the commander said slowly. "They move like they fought before." "We have," Ta-Hyun replied. "Humans fought wars for thousands of years. Big wars, small wars, wars with advanced weapons, wars with sticks and stones. We learned what works." On a big screen, they watched as human ships attacked an alien fleet. The alien ships had better weapons, better shields, and better computers. But the human ships worked together, using simple tactics that had worked for centuries. "Look at that battle," Ta-Hyun pointed. "We're using the same plan that won battles at sea hundreds of years ago. Your ships are better, but your commanders never learned basic battle tactics." More reports came in. Alien forces were losing everywhere. Their energy shields couldn't stop simple metal bullets. Their armor broke under old-fashioned explosives. Their fancy battle computers couldn't understand human tactics that were too simple to predict. "We found your military records," Ta-Hyun told the commander. "Your species hasn't fought a real war in 500 years. You think war is about having the best technology. He walked to another screen showing human soldiers fighting in a space station. The aliens had tried to use their energy weapons, but the humans had filled the air with simple smoke. The energy beams couldn't lock on through the smoke, but bullets didn't care. "That smoke trick," Ta-Hyun said. "We learned that fighting with bows and arrows 1,000 years ago. Simple tricks still work." The alien commander watched as another of their ships exploded. We thought you were primitive." "That's why you lost," Ta-Hyun replied. "You saw our simple weapons and thought we were simple. You didn't ask why we kept these weapons when we could build better ones." He showed the commander a tablet with Earth's military history. "Look, we had energy weapons too. But we found out that simple bullets still worked better. We had smart bombs that could think, but normal bombs were more reliable. We chose our weapons because they work, not because they look advanced." The commander looked at the battle screens again. Alien soldiers were surrendering everywhere. Their advanced weapons lay broken and useless while human weapons kept working. "Your species will remember this day," Ta-Hyun said. "The day you learned that winning battles isn't about having the best weapons. It's about knowing how to fight." He turned to leave, then stopped. "One more thing. All those times you laughed at us, called us primitive, mocked our weapons." He smiled. "Thank you. It made you overconfident. And overconfident soldiers make mistakes." The alien commander watched him go, finally understanding. Humans weren't primitive at all. They were survivors, warriors who had learned their lessons the hard way. And now the galaxy was learning why you should never underestimate a species that had mastered the art of war. Major Soo-Jin Kwon sat in the command chair of the human ship Thunder, looking at the massive alien fleet ahead. The aliens had gathered their remaining ships for one final stand. 500 advanced warships filled the space in front of her small fleet of 30 human vessels. "They still think they can win with numbers," she said softly. Behind her, her crew worked quietly at their stations. They weren't worried about the alien fleet. They had trained for this. "All ships report ready," said her communications officer. "Strike teams in position." Soo-Jin nodded. The aliens ahead had no idea that humans had already won this battle. They were so busy watching the small human fleet that they hadn't noticed the real attack coming. "Send the message," she ordered. The screen lit up with her face, broadcasting to the alien fleet. "This is Major Soo-Jin Kwon of Earth Forces. You have 10 minutes to surrender." The alien admiral's face appeared on screen. He looked angry. "Surrender? We have 500 ships. You have 30. Your primitive weapons cannot hurt us all." Soo-Jin checked her watch. 9 minutes now. I suggest you use them wisely." The alien admiral laughed. "You humans are insane. We will destroy your entire fleet." 8 minutes, Soo-Jin replied calmly. "Oh, and Admiral, you should check your engine rooms." The alien's face changed as reports started coming in. During the past hour, human strike teams in simple spacesuits had attached to the alien ships. While the aliens watched Soo-Jin's fleet, human soldiers had sneaked aboard using basic cutting tools to make holes in the ship's hulls. "Impossible," the admiral shouted. "Our sensors would have seen them." "Your sensors look for energy weapons and powered devices," Soo-Jin explained. "Our soldiers used no power tools, just simple metal cutters. Sometimes the old ways work best." The admiral's screen filled with emergency reports. Human soldiers were inside half his fleet now. Their simple bullets were killing alien crews before they could react. Their basic explosives were destroying engine rooms. 6 minutes, Soo-Jin said. "Would you like to surrender now?" "Kill them," the admiral screamed to his fleet. "Fire all weapons." But it was too late. The human soldiers inside the alien ships had reached their targets. Simple explosives detonated inside 50 ships at once. The explosions started chain reactions in the ship's advanced power systems. "You see, Admiral," Soo-Jin said as she watched the alien ships exploding, "we learned something from Earth's old navies. The best way to defeat a bigger fleet isn't to fight it. It's to sneak aboard and take control from inside. More alien ships exploded as human strike teams completed their missions. The aliens tried to fight back, but they couldn't fire at the enemy inside their own ships without destroying themselves. 3 minutes, Sujin announced, though I don't think you'll need that long. The alien fleet was in chaos. Ships were exploding or drifting dead in space. Crews were surrendering to the human soldiers who had sneaked aboard. The mighty alien fleet was being destroyed by simple soldiers with simple weapons. 1 minute, Sujin said. Last chance, Admiral. The Admiral's face was pale now. We surrender. Please, stop the attack. Sujin nodded and sent the signal. All human forces stopped exactly where they were. The battle had taken less than 10 minutes. The aliens' greatest fleet had been defeated by 30 human ships and a few hundred soldiers with basic weapons. Secure the surviving ships, she ordered her crews. And someone tell the Admiral that his budget for advanced technology was wasted. He should have spent it on basic combat training instead. As her soldiers took control of the alien fleet, Sujin thought about how simple it had been. The aliens had built their mighty ships, created their advanced weapons, and trusted in their technology to win. They never thought that humans would use simple tools and basic tactics to defeat them. Sometimes, she said to herself, the simplest solution is the best one. Commander Wu Jin Nam walked into the Galactic Council chamber, but it was very different now. The alien leaders who had once laughed at humans now sat quietly, looking nervous. Armed human soldiers stood at every door, their primitive weapons ready. The terms are simple, Wu Jin said, placing the document on the main table. Earth will join the Galactic Council as a full member, equal to all other species. No more talk about protection or primitive humans. The blue-skinned council leader, who had once mocked Earth, now looked tired and afraid. You have defeated our best forces. You have destroyed our finest ships. We have no choice but to agree. Wu Jin smiled. You always had a choice. You chose to underestimate us. You chose to mock our weapons. You chose to think technology makes you superior. On screens around the chamber, images showed the results of the brief war. Destroyed alien ships floated in space. Captured alien bases were now under human control. The mighty galactic military had been broken in less than a day. How? Asked a red-skinned council member. How did you defeat our advanced weapons so easily? Because you forgot the most important rule of war, Wu Jin explained. It's not the weapon that matters. It's the warrior who uses it. He showed them videos of the battles. Human soldiers using simple smoke to blind alien sensors. Basic metal bullets that ignored energy shields. Old-style explosives that worked when fancy weapons failed. Your soldiers had the best weapons in the galaxy, Wu Jin continued, but they didn't know how to fight. They thought their technology would win battles for them. The council members watched as more reports came in. Their military leaders were surrendering everywhere. Their advanced weapons were being collected and studied by human scientists. We found something interesting in your military records, Wu Jin said. Your species hasn't fought a real war in 500 years. You forgot how to fight. You thought having better weapons meant you didn't need to learn battle tactics. He walked around the table, looking at each council member. But humans, we never stopped fighting. Never stopped learning. Never stopped preparing for war. We kept our simple weapons because they work. We trained our soldiers to fight with anything. Guns, sticks, rocks, whatever they had. A green-skinned council member spoke up. What happens now? Will you take revenge for how we treated you? Wu Jin shook his head. No, humans aren't cruel. We don't want to rule the galaxy or destroy your civilization. We just want to be treated as equals. He pointed to the document on the table. Sign this, and we can start fresh. Earth will share its military knowledge with the galactic forces. We'll teach your soldiers how to really fight, not just how to use fancy weapons. The council members looked at each other. then began to sign. They had finally learned that humans weren't primitive at all. They were survivors, warriors who had learned their lessons through countless battles. "One more thing," Wu Jin said as they finished signing. "Next time you meet a new species, don't judge them by their technology. Judge them by their history, their experience, their determination to survive." He looked out the chamber windows at the stars. The galaxy is a dangerous place. It's not the species with the best weapons who survive. It's the species who know how to use whatever weapons they have. The council members nodded, understanding at last. They had thought humans were primitive because they used simple weapons. Now they knew the truth. Humans had mastered the art of war itself, and that made them the most dangerous species of all. Captain Duhan Park stood in the same spot where this had all started months ago. The Galactic Council chamber looked different now. Human and alien flags hung side by side. Alien representatives talked respectfully with human officers. No one was laughing at primitive weapons anymore. "The new training program is going well," Lieutenant Hae-Nul Kim reported. "The alien soldiers are learning fast. Yesterday, a group of them actually asked to practice with our old-style rifles." Duhan smiled. The same alien soldiers who once mocked human weapons now wanted to learn everything about them. They had discovered that simple didn't mean weak. Major Ji-Wan Lee walked up, carrying a tablet. "The combined fleet exercises are showing good results," she said. "The alien ships are learning our battle tactics. They're finally understanding that fancy technology isn't enough to win fights." Around them, the council station was busy with activity. Human teachers worked with alien students, showing them Earth's military history. Alien scientists studied human weapons, amazed at how effective simple designs could be. "Remember when they thought we were stupid?" Hae-Nul asked. "Now they send their best officers to learn from us." In the training areas, alien soldiers practiced with both energy weapons and human guns. They learned old Earth battle tactics that had worked for centuries. They discovered that sometimes the simple solution was the best one. "Report from the Border Patrol," Ji-Won said, checking her tablet. "A new alien species was discovered. Very advanced technology, but no war experience." "What did our alien allies do?" Duhan asked. "They welcomed them peacefully and warned them not to judge other species by their technology level." Ji-Won smiled. "They've learned their lesson well." Duhan walked to the window, looking out at the combined human-alien fleet. The ships worked together now, using both advanced technology and simple tactics. It was a new age for the galaxy. Private Sun Wukang, no longer pretending to be a simple cleaner, now led training sessions for alien special forces. The most important lesson, he told his students, is to never think you're superior just because you have better weapons. In another part of the station, Sergeant Da-Hyun Song worked with alien commanders, teaching them about guerrilla warfare and surprise attacks. The aliens had finally learned that sometimes the best attack was the one the enemy didn't see coming. "Earth has changed the galaxy," General Min-Ho Choi said during a council meeting. "Not through force, not through advanced technology, but through wisdom earned in countless battles." The alien council members nodded in agreement. They had learned to respect humans not for their weapons, but for their experience and knowledge. Commander Wu Jin-nam, now head of the combined military forces, often told new recruits the story of how humans won their respect. "They thought our weapons were primitive," he would say. "They never understood that it's not the weapon that matters. It's the warrior who uses it." As Duhan finished his inspection of the station, he met a young alien cadet. The cadet snapped to attention and saluted in perfect human military style. "Sir," the cadet said, "thank you for teaching us. We thought we knew everything about war because we had advanced weapons. You showed us how wrong we were." Duhan returned the salute. "Just remember, never judge a species by their technology. Judge them by their determination, their experience, and their will to survive." The galaxy had changed. Humans were no longer seen as primitive. They were respected as teachers, allies, and friends. Their simple weapons had proven more effective than advanced technology. Their basic tactics had defeated mighty fleets. And to think, Duhan said to himself as he watched human and alien soldiers training together, all of this happened because they thought we were too primitive to fight. Sometimes the biggest victories come from being underestimated.